Hello there guys, Teacher Krishna here, and welcome to our next class for the third unit. This is a class that is part of BHEP School and 8th High School. Our subject is science, and we are working on week number 25. And I'm pretty sure that you can notice a slight difference, right? Basically what happens is that today we are going to be working on our universe discussion-based assessment. That's the reason why we're not going to have a specific presentation for this topic. But we only have to go over the activities from this section, and that's basically everything you have to do today. Our end in mind for today is very simple. Students will be able to review module number 4 by completing the discussion-based assessment and submitting a worksheet to Agilent. Of course, that is very simple. And of course, I will ask you to have your notebook with you. So before we start, make sure that you go for it. So in today's video, what I'm basically going to do is go over the instructions and activities from topic 4.05, our universe discussion-based assessment. And of course, I'm going to give you a small guidance on how to complete today's activity. So let's start right here. It says, have you completed all lessons and activities in this module? Congratulations! You have reached the end of the Our Universe module. Yeah, pretty much. We have finished already most of the topics. So now we just have this discussion-based assessment and spoiler for next week. Next week you have to complete the module assessment for number 4. So I suggest you go over your summaries and start studying from today. So it says, to help you prepare for your discussion-based assessment and your module exam, you will need to spend some time reviewing what you have learned in this module. Select the bedside 5 icon to access the review mini lessons. Right, so you can click right over here, and just like you can notice right here, we're going to have a small guidance on everything that you have learned. So go over it. We are not going to discuss it right now, but you can check it out to double understand and review the topics we have studied already. All right, and it says it's time for a 3D check. And just like you can notice, in the 3D check, we are going to be reviewing several ideas. In this case, we have core ideas, cross-cutting, and some practices. So in this course, in three-dimensional or 3D, checks help you make connections between key ideas of the module and the relationships and interactions of Earth's systems. Completing a 3D check can also help you form investigative ideas and strategies to solve real-world problems that affect the natural world. So right here you have to select this 3D check activity to get started. And it's called idea mapping. All right, so when you click here, or one more time, you are going to have a section with some instructions, and you're going to have an example of the model that you had to create right now. So let's go over the instructions right here. So 3D check activity, idea mapping. An idea map is a graphic representation of an idea or concept. It focuses on a central idea and examines topics related to it. For this reflection activity, you will focus on the anchoring phenomenon of this module and organize your thoughts around it. The anchoring phenomenon of this module is all matter in the universe, depending on its age and mass, consists of varying radius of hydrogen and helium. And just to refresh your mind about this extremely important phrase that we have right here. Remember that last week we were studying the origin of the universe. And of course, we studied that at first, the only two elements that existed in the whole universe were hydrogen and helium. And due to several changes in these two elements, more components and more elements were created. But of course, these ones were the base. So you can place related topics in your idea map that conclude explanations, evidence, and reasoning to support the claim stated by the phenomenon. Some hints are placed in the idea map below to guide your thoughts. So basically, the activity that you need to do today is make a diagram that is just like this one right here. And of course, in the center, you are going to have all matter in the universe, depending on its age and mass, consists of varying radius of hydrogen and helium. So this is the phrase that you need to copy in the center of your diagram. But just like you can notice, we have 5 different circles around the central one, which is the main idea, right? But something very important to notice is that you don't have to copy the text that you see in these 5 circles around it. They are just clues or some guidelines that are going to help you to write down some more information. So basically, you need to read the question here and answer the question inside the circle of your own diagram. It's not necessary to copy the question. You can only answer them directly in your notebook. So, hint, how does the Big Bang explain the radius of hydrogen and helium in space? That's pretty interesting. We already have, how does nuclear fusion affect hydrogen and helium radius in stars? All right, we have, how does the mass of a star affect its hydrogen or helium radius through its lifespan? We have, how does the analysis of electromagnetic emissions from space support the phenomenon? And lastly, we have, how does the conservation of matter explain the predictable changes to element radius in the universe? So, all of these questions can be answered based on what we have studied already. So you can go back to your summaries, you can go back to the topics and reread them if necessary. Or just in case it's very hard for you to find the answer of one of these questions, I can give you some hints in WhatsApp. You can always send me a text message and I will be more than glad to help you out. Remember all of this diagram in your notebook. That's very important. And then when you finish, you have to go to this section. So how did it go? Were you able to connect the core concepts of the module to the anchoring phenomenon? Can you think of additional components of the module that could explain the composition of the universe? And what additional empirical evidence supports the claim made by the anchoring phenomenon? All right, that's very important. So basically, that's the activity that you need to finish today. Click on the 3D check, and of course, copy the diagram, let's say, and answer the questions inside the diagram. In the next page, you are going to find the discussion-based assessment rubric. This is very important because this rubric is the one that I'm going to use to check your homework. So make sure to read each one of the concepts right here. So, of course, you need to focus on skilled scientists. So if your representation or model meets all of the criteria right here, you are going to have a full grade. So let's go over it pretty quick. So first of all, I'm going to check content. So clearly shows understanding of course content, provides sufficient supporting evidence when needed. I have found that some students write out like very small concepts and very small answers in their homework as well as in reports and everything. So that doesn't show me enough evidence and enough understanding of the topic. So please don't write very small phrases or words. I want you to write in more specific concepts. So the more specific you can be, it's way better. So I can actually know how much you have learned. Then we have application. Clearly makes connections to other relevant ideas, concepts, text, and or real-world examples as appropriate. So, of course, since we are talking about the universe, how can you relate those principles to the environment around you? Can you relate it to Earth? Can you relate it to our sun or to one of our celestial bodies around? Make sure you include that in your diagram. We have participation and commitment. Fully participates in the conversation and initiates and completes the call in a timely manner. So this is going to be done during the live session that we are going to have. So it's very necessary that you have finished already the all of the activities that you need to do today before the live session, because we are going to discuss them, and 3 points will be given to your participation during the live session. Lastly, we have preparation. Clearly demonstrates preparation, notes, questions, etc. So, of course, you need to prepare and study the topics beforehand. And of course, I would like you to write down a couple of questions for the live session. So, in case something is still not clear, we can discuss them. And of course, I can help you out as your teacher, or I'm pretty sure that your classmates are going to help you out as well, since we have discussed all of the topics in class. Those will be pretty much the activities that you need to complete. And remember that once you are done, you need to come right here to the worksheet section for the evaluation and upload a picture of your diagram, of the diagram that you have done in your notebook. And make sure the picture is clear so I can clearly understand everything you have written down in there. So it's been a pleasure having you here today, guys. And I will be seeing you around during the live session we have in a couple of minutes. So goodbye, everyone, and always take care.